They called the humans bloodthirsty. They said these death-worlders were monsters who fought for the thrill of killing, who destroyed planets, who knew only how to conquer and enslave. So when the Tremerian Empire raided the Valari homeworld, no one expected the humans to intervene, and no one certainly expected them to save a single trembling alien girl curled up under the ruins of a burning temple. She was small, fragile, compared to the tall, broad, armored Tremerians whose warships blackened the sky above her silver skin marker. As Valari royalty, her hair glowed faintly even under layers of ash and debris, and her 4 delicate fingers clutched a pendant close to her chest, the last thing her mother gave her before the palace exploded. Tremerian soldiers scanned the wreckage looking for survivors. They didn't take prisoners, only trophies. The girl barely breathed, hidden beneath what used to be sacred stone as a shadow loomed over her. She closed her eyes, ready to be taken, but instead a low growl pierced the silence, then a scream. Not hers. A Tremerian helmet clattered to ground. A second later, the body followed, neck twisted unnaturally, blood seeping across the rubble. Another Tremerian turned, gun raised, but something fast, something savage slammed into him. He flew backward 10 meters, hit a wall, and didn't get up. The girl blinked, her breath catching as the dust cleared. A figure approached, not Tremerian, not Valari, tall, dark, with sharp eyes, wearing strange armor. Nothing like the Imperial soldiers. This man had a red streak painted across his helmet and dry blood on his knuckles. He kneeled beside her, and in a voice so soft it shocked her, said, "It's okay. Little one, you're safe now." His name was Sergeant Rex Kane, Human 49th Shock Infantry, notorious throughout the galaxy for what the media called brutality, for what humans called surviving. He and his squad had ignored Central Command, flown their ship into Tremerian space on an unsanctioned mission to evacuate civilians. The cost of ignoring orders was exile or worse, but they didn't care. They found more survivors hidden in tunnels, caves, old cargo bays, all hiding from the Tremerian slaughter. But it was a girl they kept closest to their hearts. Her name was Eris, the last child of Valari nobility, barely 10 by human standards. She spoke little, but clung to Sergeant Kane like a shadow. She never cried, never asked questions, never spoke of her family. But at night, when she thought the humans were asleep, she hummed a lullaby known only to the royal family. The squad didn't ask questions. They gave her rations, water, warmth, and most of all, they gave her space and safety. In the beginning, Eris feared them. Stories about humans were terrifying, merciless killers with muscles of steel and eyes like fire. The first time she saw Sergeant Rivas crush a Tremerian skull with his bare hands, she almost fainted, but then he handed her a piece of candy, grinning like a fool, and offered her a seat on a fallen log. And she realized these monsters shared their food with children. When a Tremerian patrol tracked their hideout, the humans didn't hesitate. No strategy, no finesse, just pure rage and efficiency. Bullets, plasma blades, fists. They moved like storms, clearing an entire valley. In under 7 minutes, the girl had watched from a distance, expecting to feel horror. Instead, she felt something strange: security. One night, while they camped in a broken cruiser's engine room, Eris finally spoke. She asked Sergeant Kane, "Why do you fight for people who aren't yours?" He didn't look up from cleaning his rifle, just said, "'Cause no one else will." The squad knew they couldn't keep running forever. Tremerians were hunting the girl now. They knew she survived the execution of her people, and she carried something they feared, a key to something ancient buried beneath the royal temple, an artifact that could awaken planetary defenses or destroy entire fleets, depending on who held it. So they ran toward the one place Tremerians couldn't reach: the human border. They crossed abandoned trade routes, dodged satellites, braved the frozen moons of Orion, and the acid storms of Caldor Prime. Each time Tremerians caught up to humans, made them bleed. Sergeant Vale lost a leg. Sergeant Brand took a plasma bolt to back and died laughing even as he detonated his grenades, taking 10 enemies with him. Eris cried for first time then in the arms of the bloodthirsty man, who held her tighter than he ever held his own weapon. When they reached the border, Tremerian ships opened fire. Even in safe space, the Empire cared little for law and less for treaties, but they hadn't accounted for one thing: the fury of a human warship answering a distress beacon. The Vanguard-class destroyer Valkyrie dropped from hyperspace with all guns blazing, wiping out 3 Tremerian frigates. Before they could blink, Captain Saundra Hall stormed aboard with medics, engineers, and 30 more soldiers, all demanding answers. And when they saw Eris clinging to Sergeant Kane like a lifeline, they understood. They took her and cleaned her, fed her, offered her choices. She had none for so long, and now she had dozens, but she stayed beside the humans, her humans who bled and killed and died for her. The Galactic Council called for an investigation into the unauthorized mission condemning the 49 for breaking treaties. But the footage of what the Tremerians did to Valari went viral. Billion saw Eris standing at a tribunal gripping Kane's hand. As she spoke, trembling and fierce. "They killed my people," she said. "They called us insects. They would have killed me too, but the humans saved me. And if that makes them bloodthirsty, then I am proud. To call them my monsters." Public pressure forced the council to back down. The 49th were cleared and Eris was granted asylum. But she didn't stay in hiding. She trained with the humans, learned their ways, their weapons, their grit. She grew under their guidance. And when the time came to take back her world, it was the same bloodthirsty humans who followed her into battle. The Tremerians never stood a chance. Now, years later, stories are told across the stars of a silver-skinned queen who rides beside warriors in black armor, her blade humming with vengeance, her eyes cold as winter, and her heart fiercely loyal. And beside her, always the man who found her under the ruins of a temple, who painted her enemy's blood across his fists and called her little one. The galaxy still calls humans bloodthirsty, but now they whisper on not fear. For everyone remembers a day only the monsters cared enough to save a broken alien girl.